What's up, decoders? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are all well out there today. Um, yeah, just jumping in now. I just got off of Joseph Aquaviva 222's channel. So he's live right now, but we're going to jump on and we're going to give a few minutes for some people to join. And then we're going to talk about the death of Donald Sutherland yesterday at the age of 88. And of course, the actor who played President Snow. And we're going to talk about some crazy connections between President Snow and Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, and the movie The Hunger Games. And trust me, it's all connected perfectly. And as usual, we're gonna go over that. So let's see who's in the chat. Casey Jones, Astrology in the chat. What's up, brother? Much love. Thanks to Casey Jones for helping out with the astrology part of this decode, as always. What's up, Shy? What's up to my girlfriend? Love you, babe. In the chat, Magdalena. Coffee Girl, how are you? Jessica. Gematria Decoder, hello. Transgender Rights, hello. Silver Links and El Paculi. Hope you guys are all well. And like I said, I know Joseph Aquaviva is still live, so we're going to maybe give another couple minutes. I know some people will start filing over, but and again, go check out Joseph's channel. Go check out what Joseph put out yesterday about all this stuff connected to Donald Sutherland, Donald Trump. He did a great video yesterday. He's also did a video just a little bit ago. So he covered a lot of things I might not cover in this, but it's good to check out both of our channels so that you guys can get the full scope of what we're researching. And hello, Kathy. How are you? Guys, please hit the like buttons if you're just getting in. That's very helping out the channel. I'm being shadowed in YouTube a bit more now. So it's very helpful when you guys hit the like button. And just, yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. So anyways, we'll give it like one more minute. Hello, Carlos Regatas. How are you, brother? Greetings. Hope you're doing well. Debbie, hello. How are you doing? And yeah, so again, another minute, and then we'll jump into this. But I just want to, kind of give a little overview here. We're going to talk about Donald Sutherland, right? We're going to talk about the girl on fire, in the Hunger Games movie. And there's a reason why she's known as the girl on fire. We're going to talk about that. And there's a reason why she shoots the woman president who replaces the male president. So let's not forget about that subject that we've been talking about, the woman replacing the man. And then we're going to talk about the rose, which is very symbolic in this movie and very, very connected to Donald Sutherland, who died yesterday. All right. So with that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and jump right in. Thank you guys for all being here. So we're going to start out with the basics. Like I said, Joseph Aquaviva already covered this yesterday. Big shout out to him for this find here. But Donald Sutherland, a veteran actor known for his roles in MASH, Clute, and The Hunger Games, dead at 88. So just like Joseph said, as soon as I saw 88 and I saw Donald, I immediately thought, okay, Donald Trump equals 88, right? And he's dead at 88. His name's Donald, okay? And he's dead of long illness. This was Joseph's find originally. He's dead of long illness, guys. This is what all the articles were saying, a long illness, which just happens to equal Donald Trump in all four ciphers. What are the odds of that? Okay, considering his name is Donald, and he died at 88, and Trump equals 88, and then he dies of long illness. Not to mention, guys, he dies 138 days before the 60th election. Okay, notice that that long illness equals 138 and 60, like Donald Trump. So again, 138 days before the 60th election, which is in the Gematria. Okay, so they even encoded the election into this, right? They said he died of long illness, 138, and 60, right? And Donald Trump, 138 and 60, dies 138 days before the 60th presidential election. Hello, Joseph. Glad everyone's making it in. Again, I just told them to go check out your videos from yesterday to get a good overview of the base information. And I'm just going to kind of expand upon that here. But just going over like the big stuff here. And again, Joseph, he found that long illness equals Donald Trump in all four ciphers. I mean, what a joke. Okay, what a joke. And this character that Donald Sutherland plays is all about the rose. Okay, every time you see a picture of him, he's always got a rose on him, and this is where I started my research at, because I was like, okay, I've been talking a lot about the Rosicrucians, the Rosy Cross, all that stuff, right? And I immediately noticed the rose, right? And there's a whole story of why President Snow coughs up blood in the movies. Okay, and we're going to talk about that. Why does he cough up blood? And why is he always wearing the rose? Okay, so here we go. So Donald Sutherland plays President Snow, and in the movie, Katniss Everdeen immediately notices the smell of blood mixed with the smell of white roses. Okay, so you have this connection between blood and white roses. Okay, this is what Katniss Everdeen smells when she gets close to President Snow, played by Donald Sutherland. Okay, and if you read down further, Finnick in the movies tells Katniss in the Hunger Games Catching Fire that the President Snow once poisoned all of his allies, concerned that they would become too powerful. In order to allay any suspicion, Snow drank poison as well as gave himself the antidote afterwards. However, the antidote was not a perfect solution. So what happened was he poisoned his allies, okay, and he drank the poison himself. However, he took the antidote, but because he drank the poison, he developed sores in his mouth, okay? So he would bleed from his mouth, okay? In order to cover up the smell of the blood and decay, he would wear a rose, okay? So this is why Katniss Everdeen, when she got around President Snow, she would smell the blood from the poisoning that did to his mouth, right? And she would smell the rose, okay? This connects to the rosy cross, Jesus on the cross, right? The pentagram, the rosy cross, all connected, okay? But look at this. So President Snow is very commonly known in the movie for poison. And notice that the word poison equals 88, kind of like Trump equals 88. I'll go back 2 slides. Trump equals 88, right? He dies at 88. And in the movie, he poisons his allies, and poison equals 88. He also died on the summer solstice, which is the first day of summer, right? And summer solstice equals 88. So again, he dies perfectly on the summer solstice, which equals 88. He dies in connection to Trump, which equals 88. And in the movies, he poisons people, which poison equals 88. Okay, and this is connected to the Jesuits, who also are known for poisoning people with arsenic. Okay, so there's a huge connection here with the Jesuits always, but I'm just letting you guys know that the Jesuits are known for poisoning with arsenic. And I think that's what this kind of represents. But let's dive into why the rose is so important. Remember, the Rosicrucians, the Rosy Cross, the 5. Okay, I want you guys to see this cross in the middle of the cross, right? The red rose on the 4-pointed cross, like the body of Christ on the cross, right? You have the 5 petals. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Everything is in 5s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, why that's important. But first, this rosy cross is in French known as the Rose Croix, okay? The Rose Croix. And Rose Croix equals 667, like Donald Sutherland. So what a coincidence. He's all about the rose, and his name equals Rose Croix. And again, this ties back to the Rosicrucians, which I'm not going to talk a whole lot about here, but If you guys have been watching my content, I've been talking about the Rosicrucians, okay? Another secret society, okay? And so this is where everything kind of came together for me, all right? I mentioned how Donald Sutherland died 138 days before the next presidential election. Donald Trump equals 138. He died of long illness, which equals 138, okay? But what's crazy is the day that Donald Sutherland died, Donald Trump, who equals 138, was 28,497 days old. That number, 28,497, is the 138th pentagonal number. That means, if you guys don't know what a pentagonal number is, it basically numbers that make up a pentagon or a pentagram. You guys understand this? This is why I talked about the number 5, okay? Because penta means 5. Donald Trump was 138th pentagonal days old on the day that Donald Sutherland died, and Donald Sutherland died 138 days before the election of long illness, which equals 138. So, not only that, guys, not only was he the 138th pentagonal number old, Donald Trump was also 78 years and 7 days old when Donald Sutherland died. And that's the 138th prime number. Do you guys understand this? So Donald Trump was 138 pentagonal days old, and the same day Trump was 78 years and 7 days old, and 787 is the 138th prime. And again, that's the 138 connection. All right. And that's why Donald Sutherland died of long illness 138 days before the election. And what is this 138 number? What is this 138 number? It connects to Venus, the rose. And I'm going to show you why it connects to Venus, the rose. Okay. Venus, this is a pattern. You guys can look it up on Google, on YouTube. In the sky, from the vantage point of Earth, Venus makes a rose. And the rose-Venus pattern is at a 13:8 ratio, guys. Let me let that sink in here. I just showed you how the 138 was connected to Donald Trump being 138 pentagonal days old and 138 787, which is the 138th prime, okay? And Venus has a 13:8 ratio. Let me read this. This is because Venus orbits the sun once every 224.7 days, while Earth takes 365 days. The ratio of these two is about 0.615, or about 8 to 13, which is the 13 to 8. This is the number 138. Since the difference between 8 and 13 is 5, that means the path of Venus has a 5-fold symmetry. 5 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the Venus rose. So it's important why Donald Trump was 138th pentagonal number old yesterday. You guys understand this? Penta means 5, guys. There's 5, 13, 8 is the ratio for Venus to Earth, and it's a 5-fold because 8 and 13 is 5 between. And the path of Venus has a 5-fold symmetry right here. 5 leaves. This is the and it makes in the sky, right? This is the pattern. Okay? And let's also, what do they call this? What do they call this rose? Right here, read down at the bottom, guys. This pattern is sometimes called Rose of Venus. And what does Rose of Venus equal, guys? 138. Not only that, but if you type in Venus rose, which it's also known by, it equals 138. What are the chances that 2 different ways you type this in, you get the 138? Trump was 138 pentagonal days old yesterday, 138 days before the election. Donald Trump equals 138. Donald Sutherland died of long illness, which equals 138. And Venus has a 13:8 ratio. Okay? It's absolutely astronomical what this is really, connecting to, the 138. And it's going to get even better. We're going to connect how it's connected to the whole Hunger Games movie. Okay. So the Hunger Games movie, where Donald Sutherland plays in, is all about the feminine. The main character of that movie is Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence. And she is her sister in the movie is Primrose. You guys hear it again? The Primrose. Again, a rose reference. There's roses all over these movies. And Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence, was born on the Jesuits' founding day, August 15th. That's the day leaving 138 days in the year. So you're telling me that all these 138s connected to the Rose of Venus and Donald Trump and the main character, Jennifer Lawrence, is born on the day in the year leaving 138 days in the year, August 15th? Just like Rose of Venus equals 138. And here's a picture of Katniss. Katniss in the garden of roses. And here's a picture of her getting ready to shoot the arrow at Donald Sutherland's character. But in the background, do you see the woman? Do you guys understand what this is? This is really all about the woman. This is a man standing in between two women. Do you see that? You got the woman president, you got the Donald guy, and then you got the Venus. Okay? So this is all connected, guys, and I'm going to show you how I think this is telling us about some sort of scenario coming up with the next election. Remember, Donald Sutherland died 138 days before the election. Donald Trump equals 138. Rose of Venus, 138. Why is there the woman president and then the old male president? Does that not remind you of the current situation, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Right? Do you see it? So let's keep moving. Remember, Katniss, born on the day leaving 138 days in the year, she shoots the female president instead of the male. She shoots the female. She shoots her right in the heart. May your aim be true and as pure as your heart, she says. And then she gets shot in the heart. And speaking of a female president, if Kamala Harris were to become President Kamala Harris equals 138. Okay? Again, the big number here connected with the Rose of Venus. So why does she shoot past the male and to the female? Because the female was the one that dropped the bombs on her sister Primrose and killed her sister Primrose. Again, the Rose. So she shoots her instead because she's just as evil as he is. Okay? And then what happens to this guy? He gets swarmed by all the people in the Capitol. He gets killed by all the people. So she kills the woman and all the people kill him. As he's spitting out blood, by the way. And again, she shoots the arrow at the female. Okay. President Kamala Harris, 138. Katniss Everdeen, Jennifer Lawrence, born on the day leaving 138 days in the year. All right. But what is this woman? Who's the woman who plays the female president in the Hunger Games movie? Her name is President Alma Coin. And she's played by Julianne Moore. And Julianne Moore has a perfect match to Kamala Devi Harris and female president. And in fact, she plays a female president, right? Notice that it's perfect, right? 152 female president, 152 Kamala Devi Harris, Julianne Moore, who plays a female president, 152. And I just told you President Kamala Harris equals 138, which ties with all the other 138s, okay? Now, remember, I talked about Venus. Venus is the 1:13:8 ratio. Let me just remind you guys, for anybody just getting here. Venus has the 13:8 ratio. Rose of Venus, 138. Venus Rose, 138. Trump was 138th pentagonal numbers old the day Donald Sutherland died. Now, what if I told you that Venus is also known as Queen of Heaven. Let's read this. The Venus tablet of Amasakawa, or however you say that, believed to have been compiled around the mid-17th century, referred to the planet Venus in the tablet as the bright queen of the sky or the bright queen of heaven. There's a Wikipedia page titled Queen of Heaven, which is Venus, guys. Right here, it says it. The Venus tablets. Venus, the Queen of Heaven. The Venus rose equals 138. Rose of Venus, 138. This represents the Queen of Heaven, which equals 138. Divine Feminine equals 138. Venus also represents the Divine Feminine, okay? What are the chances? This number is definitely connected to the Divine Feminine and Venus and the Queen of Heaven, all right? So Trump has that 138 gematria because, remember, Kamala Harris's father is named Donald J. Do you guys know that? Did you know that Kamala Harris's father is named Donald J? We just had Donald Sutherland die, and we have Donald J. Trump, who equals 138, like Divine Feminine, like Queen of Heaven, like Rose of Venus, okay? So Kamala Harris has a sure connection to her dad's name being Donald, okay? Donald Sutherland, Donald J. Harris. Look it up. I didn't put it here, okay? So that's why I believe there will be a conflict between the male and the female presidents, which is why I believe the Hunger Games set up this scene with the female president and the male president, okay? So with that being said, now that we know that the 138 is important, let's take a look at Jennifer Lawrence and see how she's perfectly tied to Venus. If you guys could ever doubt this slide, I don't know who could doubt this slide. Venus is the burning, the bright one. Remember, in his last slide, I said Venus is the bright, like the burning fire, guys, fire, okay? And notice that Jennifer Lawrence is a perfect example of Venus. Look at this. Jennifer equals 81 in the same cipher as Venus. And not only does her first name equal Venus, her last name equals Venus. So both of her names, Jennifer and Lawrence, are encoded in the same cipher as Venus, 81. Now, if you take her name, her real name, Jennifer Lawrence, and you put it in with the gematria of Katniss Everdeen. Remember, she plays Katniss Everdeen in the movie. Katniss Everdeen equals 81 in the same cipher as Jennifer Lawrence. Again, it's all 81s, guys. She represents also the Sagittarius, the sign in astrology who's known as the Archer, okay? Notice that Sagittarius equals 81, okay? So you have this Sagittarius connection. You have this Venus connection. Remember, Taylor Swift is a Sagittarius. She had a song called The Archer. Just go look that up, guys. Go look up Taylor Swift, The Archer, okay? The Archer is Sagittarius because Taylor Swift is a Sagittarius, which is an Archer, right? Now, Katniss Everdeen is the Archer, okay? So that's why the 81, and thank you, Joseph. Joseph says in the chat, President Trump 81, Coriolanus Snow, the president that Donald Sutherland plays, equals 81. So yeah, more 81s. And yeah, so definitely represents Venus. But how does this represent what's coming up? Well, first we got to look back, because this girl representing Venus, the girl on fire, okay? Look at this, guys. I just told you that Venus is all about the number 138. The Rose of Venus, 138. Venus Rose, 138. Queen of Heaven, 138. Jennifer Lawrence was born on the day leaving 138 days in the year. Donald Trump, 138. Venus on 9/11. Just wait till you hear this, guys. On 9/11/2001, the girl on fire was 18 Venus years old, guys. This girl who represents Venus, obviously, so obviously. Okay, here's all her 81s connecting to Venus, and then you're telling me that she was exactly 18 Venetian years old on 9/11, and look at what Venus equals, guys. 81, 18. And what was Venus at in the sky? It was at 138 degrees of the ecliptic on 9/11, which is the rose of Venus, guys. Can you believe that? Venus was at the 138th degree on 9/11 when Venus rose equals 138 and rose of Venus equals 138. And not only was it at the 138th degree, it was at the 18th ecliptic of Leo. So Venus was in the 18th degree of Leo, and this girl, Jennifer Lawrence, is a Leo, born on the day leaving 138 days in the year. And Leo represents the sun, and Coriolanus Snow, or Donald Sutherland, died on summer solstice, which is all about the sun. Do you guys see the connection here? The sun, the bright burning sun. The snow dies on the sun on the day that the sun is the highest in the sky. Do you guys get it? The snow melts because of the sun, right? He played President Snow. Okay. So this is absolutely insane that on 9/11, Venus was at the 138th degree of the whole ecliptic in the sky and the 18th degree of Leo, which is 18 equals Venus. And on that same day, Jennifer Lawrence was 18 Venus years old. Okay. Absolutely insane. But what about this, guys? What about the Olympic Games coming up? Do you understand what this is connecting to? The Hunger Games and the Olympic Games. The year 2024 is all about the woman on fire. Look at the symbol for the 2024 Olympics. It's a woman disguised as a flame. Do you see it, guys? Look at this closely. You guys see the lips? Do you guys see the hair? There's no eyes there, but do you guys see the hair down in her face and the lips? So you're telling me that the symbol for the Olympic Games is a woman disguised in a flame. Hence the woman on fire, the girl on fire. And here's do you guys remember this song? I'm your Venus, I'm your fire. Do you guys see what I'm showing you here? And at the Olympic Games this year, there will be archery. You guys get it? So archery, like Katniss Everdeen, the archer. Does the Olympic Games equal 138? Hold on a minute. I can't believe I missed that if that's true. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Olympic Games equals 138, guys. How did I miss that? So there you go. I didn't even know it equaled 138, and I'm sitting here connecting this all to the Olympics and Venus. And there you go. There's your 138, Olympic Games. Olympic Games equals Donald Trump in two ciphers, 138 and 60. And Donald Sutherland died of long illness, which equals 138 and 60 in the same ciphers. Okay. So let's go back to this. Now that we know the Venus is connected to the Olympic Games, remember, you can't get any more clear than this, guys. The Olympic Games this year will have archery, the arrow getting shot through the heart. Okay. And the Olympic Games symbol is a flame with a woman, right? And look at this. This song, which was called Venus by Shocking Blue, the song was called Venus. And the B-side track to this song, Venus, is Hot Sand. What are the chances that the B-side song to Venus is Hot Sand and Hot Sand equals Venus? You guys see this? I mean, that tells you right there they must use Gematria, because there's no way that you're telling me that the B-side song to Venus is Hot Sand and it equals Venus, 81. It also equals Jennifer, like Jennifer Lawrence, like Lawrence equals 81. I just showed you all that back here. Okay. And so there you go. But remember, what were the lyrics to this song? The lyrics to this song were, "A goddess on a mountaintop was burning like a silver flame, the summit of beauty and love, and Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire." Her weapons were her crystal eyes. Notice that the symbol for the Olympics is missing the eyes. You see this? The woman missing the eyes. And in this song, it says, "Her weapons were her crystal eyes, making every man mad. Black as the dark night she was. Got what no one else had. She's got it, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire at your desire." Okay. So what's interesting about this song, guys, it was released on October 2nd, 1969. And Jennifer Lawrence was born exactly 1,089 days after the release of this song, right? I already showed you how she's connected to Venus. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, was 1,809 days old when this song was released. Do you see the number of synchronicity here? Jennifer Lawrence, 189 weeks later after this song, she was born, and Kamala Harris, on the same day the song released, was 1,809 days old. Remember, Kamala is a Libra. She's ruled by Venus. So even Kamala's astrology sign, Libra, is ruled by Venus. Now remember, Katniss Everdeen, Jennifer Lawrence, is a Leo. Remember, Leo is all about the sun, and Donald Sutherland died on the biggest day in the year of the sun, the summer solstice, and she's ruled by the sun. So here you have your flame and you have your Venus, okay? I'm your fire, your desire, right here. So that's why this is all connected to the burning. Remember how there was fires last year on 8/8? Do you know how Donald Sutherland? As a matter of fact, Joseph was just covering the death of somebody from Hawaii. What happened in Hawaii on 8/8 last year? You guys remember? Give me a comment in the chats if you guys remember what happened in Hawaii on August 8th. 8/8, okay? The Lions Gate portal, 8/8. And there was fires in Hawaii, probably from lasers, right? And so here we go. We got the Venus, we got the fire, okay? And we just had the death in the news today, too, of somebody from Hawaii dying, which is, again, referencing back, I believe, to the fires. So I'm just wondering how this connects to this year with the burning flame of the Olympics, right? The flame. So don't be surprised if we get more fires this year. But again, I wanted to bring out how this Venus is always connected to the rose, okay? Venus is always connected to the rose because it makes a rose in the sky, right? Well, look at this song, guys. The song Venus by the band Shocking Blue was originally taken from a song, the banjo song by Tim Rose. Do you guys see this? So the song Venus was originally gotten from a song written by a man named Tim Rose, okay? So there you go again, the Venus and the rose connection. And just to hit more on Donald Sutherland here, Donald Sutherland died in Miami, which equals 27. He died 27 days before his next birthday on July 17th, and Venus equals 27. Okay, so he dies 27 days before his birthday in Miami. Miami equals 27. Venus equals 27. Okay. And again, this is all about the rose and Venus. Okay. Again, he's wearing the rose. His arch enemy is a symbol of Venus. Yeah, and Miami equals 45. Like Trump was number 45, right? I think Venus, I don't know if Venus has a 45 or not. I think it has a 54, actually. I can't believe Olympic Games equals 138. Can't believe it. But Venus, yeah, Venus equals 54. Actually, Venus does equal 45 in some of these exception ciphers, but Venus does equal 54, but it does equal 27 like Miami, okay? Yeah, let me go back to this presentation here. I got like one or two more slides, then I'm going to expand upon a few things, and then we'll go into the chat, okay? So thank you guys for watching as usual. But I wanted to bring up this album. This is just another clear example of Venus and the Rose, okay? This was American Beauty, an album by Grateful Dead. Remember, we just had the death of Bill Walton, who was known as the biggest Grateful Dead fan in the world, right? Well, Grateful Dead had an album called American Beauty. And on the front of American Beauty, yeah, I already said Venus Rose equals 138, yep. But notice that on the front of American Beauty, which equals 138, you have the rose, which is the Venus rose. Again, you guys see how this is a clear example of Venus with the song title or the album being called American Beauty, which equals 138, like Rose of Venus, and it has a rose. And again, the Venus to Earth ratio is 13 to 8, okay? Venus to Earth, 13 to 8, 138. American Beauty was also the fifth album of Grateful Dead. Why is that important? Because, again, 13 minus 8 is 5. Therefore, Venus has a five-fold symmetry. 5 petals, the pentagram, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So that's why American Beauty was the fifth album, okay? So let's go back and recap real fast. Let's go recap the main points here. The main points of why Donald Trump is connected, why Venus is connected. But again, here's the big one. This is the big slide, right? Donald Sutherland dies 138 days before the election of long illness, which equals 138. Donald Trump equals 138. On the same day Donald Sutherland died, Donald Trump was 138th pentagonal days old. So 28,497 days. That's the 138th pentagonal number. Absolutely insane. Not only that, but if you look at it another way, Trump was 78 years and 7 days old, and the number 787 is the 138th prime. So Trump was 787 on the day Donald Sutherland died of long illness, okay? And remember, the next election is 138 days later. And the next election ties perfectly to the Hunger Games, because here you have the two presidents, the woman and the man. And the woman, Venus, shoots the arrow through the heart of the woman, with the man standing in the middle, you see? So I don't know exactly what this is telling me or what this is telling us. Are they playing out some sort of thing that's going to happen in the next election between a woman and a man and an arrow? I don't know. But if you guys have any smart ideas, let me know in the chat. But yeah, so again, President Kamala Harris, 138. The woman who plays the female president, Julianne Moore, equals female president, equals Kamala Devi Harris. Venus Rose, Rose of Venus, Queen of Heaven, Divine Feminine, all 138. Jennifer Lawrence equals 81 like Venus. Lawrence equals 81 like Venus. Katniss Everdeen equals 81 like Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence was exactly 18 Venus years old on 9/11, and Venus equals 18. And Venus was at the 18th degree of Leo, and she's a Leo. Okay, perfect. Just absolutely insane. And again, Venus, I'm your fire, your desire, the burning girl, the girl on fire, right? Archery at the Summer Olympics. This is the connection between the song Venus and Kamala Harris and Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, and then just the Venus Rose and the Venus connection. So a whole bunch of connections here between all these things. But I mean, like I said, I think I made my point. Watch out for the Summer Olympics. We might have a ritual for sure. So let me jump into the chat. And, well, first of all, I feel like there's something else I want to talk about. Okay, so I did want to talk about something here. Hold on. So, you know how Donald Trump was convicted and found guilty on May 30th, 2024, and then Donald Sutherland died on June 20th, 2024. Okay, so let me take away some of this noise here. Hold on. All right, so hold on. Sorry, I'm using this new calculator that Derek let me try out, and it's absolutely insane what I can do here, so I'm still learning it. All right, so anyways, Donald Trump was found guilty 21 days before Donald Sutherland died. And remember, Donald Sutherland played Coriolanus Snow, who was all about the rose. Let me just go back. Coriolanus Snow, right? All about the rose. Donald Sutherland dies 21 days after Trump was convicted. 21 days, right? What's that equal? Let me show you. Rose. Rose equals 21, guys. So again, Rose 21, Donald Trump convicted 21 days before Donald Sutherland dies, and Donald Sutherland is all about the roses, right? So just another perfect sync with the number 21 and the word rose. And don't forget, this is also tied to Mary, who's in the Catholic religion, is connected to Venus and the Queen of Heaven. Mary equals 21, like Rose. You see, Mary, Rose, both equal the same. And I want you guys to keep an eye on the Latin Gematria. You guys see how Venus or Rose and Mary are a direct match? And how Rose has the 225, kind of like the year we're coming up on, the 225. So interesting. Also, another thing I wanted to point out is that Harris, Kamala Harris, means war. But notice that Kamala Harris equals hunger. So isn't it interesting? That I made a connection to Kamala Harris in the Hunger Games and the woman president in the Hunger Games? I just found it interesting that Harris equals hunger in 3 out of 4 ciphers. Remember, Kamala Harris is connected to Herbert Hoover because she died on the very same day Herbert Hoover died, and Herbert Hoover was the president during the Great Depression. So are they hinting that if Kamala Harris becomes president, there's going to be a market crash and a Great Depression again, where people are hungry? Do you guys get it? People are hungry because they don't have money. And don't overlook the fact that the president, the woman president in the Hunger Games, her name is Coin. Money, right? What's the chances her name is Alma Coin, which connects to money? She connects to Kamala Harris, who was born the same day the guy who was president during the Great Depression died. Remember? Herbert Hoover, Great Depression. She dies the same. She's born the same day as Herbert Hoover. Okay. So I think this is definitely connecting to some sort of financial turmoil, a market crash, a housing crash, something that crashes everyone's money. People are going hungry, food shortages. I don't know exactly, but it seems that what this is hinting at. But anyways, guys, let me go into the chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Joseph, for bringing some viewers over. It's nice to have some actual viewers. But if you guys would please hit the like button. I have 154 in the chat and only 84 likes. So I would just really appreciate if we can get the likes up over 100. And we're going to go into the chat and we're going to see what you guys are saying. So yeah, let's look at some comments here. So I'm going to bring your comments up on the screen for everyone to see. My buddy Carlos says dollar crash equals 666. Yeah. Yes, it does. Very interesting, right? Eva Dom says Kiefer Sutherland was born 12/21, which is the winter solstice. Okay, so his dad dies on the summer solstice. His father, or his son, Kiefer Sutherland, was born on the winter solstice. So let me just give a quick look at the solstice connection here. Hold on. Since you guys are bringing that up, remember, winter solstice is on December 21st. winter solstice equals 197, 188, okay? Or 88, just like Donald Sutherland died on the summer solstice, but summer solstice equals the same. You guys see this? What are the chances of that, guys? Summer solstice, winter solstice. Almost a direct match. And Kiefer Sutherland was born on the winter solstice. His dad, Donald Sutherland, dies on the summer solstice, okay? And just notice the 187 here. This is the homicide code. 187 is the police code for homicide, right? 187, okay? Okay, Casey May. Well, thank you for bringing that up, Casey May. That's interesting. I didn't check that. I didn't check President Coin. But Casey May says, hold on. Are you kidding me, Sean? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Do you guys see what Sean is writing in the chat? I just talked about her and roses and Venus. And Sean is saying that today there was a documentary released by Jennifer Lawrence called Bread and Roses. Is this not confirmation live on stream, guys? This is confirmation live on stream, okay? Let's look it up. Bread and Roses, Jennifer Lawrence. Let's see. What do I have to type in here? I don't know if this is Bread and Roses, Jennifer Lawrence. Right here, guys. This is in German. I'm sorry because when I type stuff in, it comes up Germany. Bread and Roses. Where's the date here? Right here, guys. June 21st, today. This is it, guys. I'm all over it. I was just talking about how the death of Donald Sutherland yesterday was all about the roses. And now the next day, his enemy in the movie is releasing a documentary called Bread and Roses. This is insane. Like, this is insane. Wow. I mean, I'm glad you shared that, Sean. Thank you, man, so much for that. Right here, Bread and Roses documentary from Jennifer Lawrence. I just talked about all of this. Please share this video, guys, live on stream. I just got confirmation about what I was talking about. Come on now. I'm mind blown, guys. I'm sorry I'm a bit speechless, but what's it about? Well, it's probably, let me see, hold on. Capturing the experience of Afghanistan women under the Taliban. Oh, that's interesting. So this has a Middle East connection. But yeah, you can see this is a documentary produced by Jennifer Lawrence. Bread and Roses. Well, let me see, guys. Let me see if I can find any Gematria connections here. Bread. Is it called bread and how's it spelled? Oh, it's spelled with the ampersand. So hold on. So it's bread, roses. Yeah, I don't see anything 100% here. Well, I do see something, actually. I see something. I see something, guys. Look at this. So Jennifer Lawrence releases the documentary Bread and Roses. And if you type it without the and, because they're using the ampersand, right? They're using the and symbol right here. So it equals 457. 457 is the 88th prime number. 88th prime number. And Donald Sutherland, he died at 88 yesterday. So a day after he dies at 88, the enemy in the movie that he plays releases an album, okay, or not an album, but a documentary called Bread and Roses, which equals 457, the 88th prime number. Okay, there you go. Wow, just wow. So yeah, we need to look more into this documentary, but this is big, guys. I mean, I would have never expected that I'd be so onto it like that. I mean, this is all about roses, man. Venus rose. He dies on the summer solstice, which equals 88, right? Dies at 88, poison. He's known for poisoning his allies. And he wears the rose to cover up the smell of his blood, essentially, okay? So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm a bit speechless, but thank you so much for Sean. He put that in the stream. Wow. Sean also writes that divine feminine equals 138 and 911. Remember, I showed you guys. Okay, so keep that in mind. Divine feminine, like Venus, equals 138 and 911. Let me just bring that up for you guys. Um, 138, 911. You see this? So remember, on 9/11, Venus was at the 138th degree in the sky of the ecliptic. Okay, so Venus, which is the Venus rose, which equals 138 in the same cipher. Okay, so let me go back to my slides here. On 9/11, Venus, do you guys see this? Venus was at the 138th degree of the ecliptic. And on 9/11, divine feminine equals 138, 9/11. Okay. So again, perfectly synced up. Casey May says bread and roses equals 119 in the Elizabethan ciphers, the Rosicrucian Francis Bacon cipher. So that's a good addition. Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know, Sean, are you available to come on for a minute? I bet you're working. Or if anyone else wants to come on. Joseph, you want to come on and talk for a bit? Casey, whoever wants to come on can come on. I'll leave the link for a little bit. We can talk. I don't want to make it too long. But if anyone wants to, I'll leave the link. But man, guys, I mean, I'm making a video about roses, and the same day Jennifer Lawrence releases a documentary called Bread and Roses. This connects to hunger, right? Bread, Hunger Games, you need to eat food. So bread and roses is a connection to hunger and the rose, right? Perfect. Yeah, red roses, they signify sacrifice, right? But he wears white roses, and in the movie, President Snow says white. There's nothing more example of purity than white, right? So white represents purity. And this is connected to Valentine's Day, guys. This is connected to Valentine's Day because let me just show you how I believe this is connected to Valentine's Day. Hold on. So remember, Donald Sutherland died on June 20th, which is, let me see here. So do you guys see how Donald Sutherland died 214 days. You guys see how Donald Sutherland died 214 days after Joe Biden's birthday? Well, I'm sure you guys know what happens on 214. What happens on 214, guys? That's connected to roses and arrows. Cupid's arrow, roses. On what day? What day is 214? I'm sure you guys know. It's Valentine's Day, right? 214 is Valentine's Day. So 214 days after Biden's birthday is the death of Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland is connected to roses, right? So roses on Valentine's Day. So it works perfect, okay? Also, if you go to Kamala Harris's birthday, or maybe it's not Kamala Harris's birthday. Yeah, I don't remember what it was now, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to also bring up the fact that it's connected to Valentine's Day. Now, okay, yeah, I want to bring up something. You guys remember? You guys remember the KC shooting, Valentine's? You guys remember when on Valentine's Day, 1 dead and 20 more injured in Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting? So this day is all about roses, right? Valentine's Day. And arrows. Remember the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have the arrow, like Cupid's arrow through the heart, right? And roses connect to Valentine's Day. And you can see that they have the arrow, right? So on Valentine's Day this year, there was a shooting on the Super Bowl parade, right? In Kansas City. Well, let me show you how Donald Sutherland connects to Kansas City Chiefs. Give me 1 second. So Donald Sutherland, who just died yesterday, equals 172, 64, 260, and 89. Kansas City Chiefs equals 172, 64, 260, and 98. Do you guys see the almost 4-cipher match? Let me just get these other things out of the way so you guys can see it. You see this? Remember how the one woman who died, who got shot there and died, her name was Lisa Lopez Galvan? You see this? So the one woman that died at the shooting was Lisa Lopez Galvan, which equals Kansas City Chiefs and Donald Sutherland. Okay? And remember how that was during the Roman holiday of Lupercalia. Notice how Lupercalia equals 172. Lupercalia equals 172, like Lisa Lopez Galvan. Lopez is another word for a wolf. Lupercalia is all about wolves, right? Romulus and Remus. And again, this was all connected. You know, I knew this was all connected to Donald Sutherland. What are the chances that Donald Sutherland equals Kansas City Chiefs? This makes me think of Valentine's Day, where roses are. There was a shooting in Kansas City on Valentine's Day, okay? Now, if you go back from the day of the shooting on Valentine's Day to the day Donald Sutherland died, notice that it's 128 days, which is interesting, but 127 is even more interesting because 127 is the buildings that fell on 9/11, buildings 1, 2, and 7. And notice that this 127 is a anagram of the 172. Notice that Donald Sutherland equals 172. He died on the 172nd day of the year. He died 127 days after Valentine's Day, which is the 45th day of the year. Okay. Donald Trump was number 45. So there's a whole connection to Valentine's Day and Venus, but I'm not going to go much deeper in that. The big confirmation that we got during this stream, if you guys missed it, I was talking literally about Jennifer Lawrence and the Hunger Games and roses. And during the stream, my buddy Sean shared. See, I was talking about roses, Jennifer Lawrence, and Venus, right? And during the stream, Sean shares that today, the very day I'm doing this video, Jennifer Lawrence, the star of Hunger Games, is releasing a documentary called Bread and Roses. I mean, I'm just mind blown. I got to look more into this film, okay? But it's all about women too, and that's even more obvious, guys. I was talking about how this is all about the woman and Venus, and you're telling me that this whole thing is about women? It's about roses and women? I was just talking about that. So, anyways, I can't make this string too much longer, but let me go into the chat one last time and see what you guys are saying. I'm so grateful for all of you. Grateful for Joseph Aquaviva. Crypto Cabbage says bread and roses is a political slogan associated with suffrage. It is the first mentioned in the American magazine in September 1911, but commonly associated with a textile strike in Lawrence. Oh, thank you so much for this. Bread and roses is a political slogan associated with women's suffrage. It first mentioned in American magazine in 1911, but associated with a textile strike in Lawrence, MA. Lawrence, Jennifer Lawrence. Wow. Thank you for that. I see Casey Jones is in the back. Hey, Sean, if you want to come on at all, you're more than welcome. Casey, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Just looking over some notes. I noticed that if you go from the 2023 summer solstice 6/21/2023 to August 13th of this year, it's 419 days.
Okay.
81st prime, and then Donald Sutherland. His initials are DS. That's the fourth and the 19th letter. So again, that 419, 81st prime, and there was some consecutive years there. Maybe even this year. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. But oftentimes the sign of Taurus, which is one of the two signs under the rulership of Venus, oftentimes that sign begins on the date April 19th. So just want to throw out some of those. Yeah. And
that's exactly 60 weeks too. If you add the day from that measurement you just gave me from the last year's summer solstice to August 13th, it's actually exactly 60 weeks too.
60 weeks.
Which would be like the election, like the 60th, Donald Trump equals 60.
Oh, so, okay. It's coming up. It's going to be the 60th election. Okay. I was looking over, I know you brought up Kamala a few times. I was looking over an old blog post I made. I know when she was selected as VP, which was August 11th of 2020, Venus was at maximum elongation as a morning star that day. I've talked so often about, the Venus as a morning star and just her being the vice president, VP. You have a 2216, and I don't want to go into the 2216s right now, but you know how important that is. The revelation 2216 in Venus, right? And so, but one of the things I wanted to mention, just kind of as an overarching theme, we had this theme of females coming into power, right? With the potential of our first female president. In Mexico, they just elected their first female president. But astrologically, it's been on the horizon for a while, because back in the year 2012, the star Regulus, which is associated with royalty and leadership and king, Yeah, rulership. That star moved into Virgo back in the year 2012. It's actually the last time I looked it up. It was on August 13th of the year 2012. 2012. Yeah.
Really? Because that would
Yeah.
also be the year the Hunger Games came out, the first one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
You
that.
know, yeah, something else to throw out there too is that what was it? Kamala Harris was born 10,008 days after the Golden Gate Bridge opened. So it's like another
Ah,
18 right there. Yeah.
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because Sean mentioned earlier when we talk about the Venus rose, it connects to the golden ratio.
Yeah.
So so there's a connection here with the golden. And remember, Kamala Harris is from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So
And then with all the five stuff, Venus, Earth, they form a pentagram. Um,
mhm.
let's see. And again with regular, you think about Regulus I was mentioning is that's the heart of the lion. That's the primary star in the constellation Leo. And you were talking about how Jennifer Lawrence is a Leo, and then here I am telling you how Regulus as a star has moved into the constellation Virgo. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I just thought it was so crazy that on 9/11 she was exactly 18 Venus orbits old, and that's when it
yeah,
was at 18. It was at and Venus was at 18 degrees of Leo. Like
yeah.
that's her sign. That's like insane to me.
Oh, something I talking about Venus ages. Something I just noticed. I just found while you were during the live is that um, Princess Kate she turned 69 uh, Venus years old today.
She does really.
Yeah, yeah, today. I just checked it out.
Well, that's
It's interesting,
crazy.
because we're in the sign of Cancer. 69 Cancer. She's also her lunar month. She was born on a lunar eclipse, so today's a
You there? It looks like
whoop.
Casey cut out. Are you there?
Oh no. Yeah, I'm still here.
I think
Whoop.
you cut out. We couldn't hear you there for a little bit, so I don't know if you were saying something.
What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh man, what was I saying though? I was talking about how Princess Kate she turned 525 lunar months old today as well.
So wait,
Because
when is her birthday though? I must have the wrong birthday. When's
it's
her birthday?
January 9th of
Okay.
82.
January
So
9th, 82. Yep. So what Casey's saying, guys, is Princess Kate, Princess Catherine, she turns exactly 69 Venus years old today, and we're starting the sign of Cancer, 69. Remember the song Venus that I covered in this video came out in 1969. So I think that's definitely in the 525 you said, 525 moon
yeah,
phases.
yeah. I know what Rambo. I was saying that Rambo mentioned that number in one of his latest videos. And there's a couple more things I wanted to mention before I hopped off. Is if I can remember it, is I know the first thing is that the Olympics are coming up in Paris, and the French president Emmanuel Macron he's got that 12/21 winter solstice birthday, just like Kiefer Sutherland. So
Mm,
I don't know. I
yeah.
wish I could remember that other thing I was about to say, but because it was
Well,
good
I
too.
mean that what you shared before, like that helped me find that connection, with it was just crazy how it worked because you would just share with me that picture of the 9/11, where Venus was and just like
Yeah.
at that same time, Derek actually helped me out with, like helped me get this calculator. And I've been like enjoying it because I'm already able to like see so much more with the lunar phases and the Venus
Oh yeah.
and I was able to look directly like at Jennifer Lawrence, and it's amazing how it came up to be 18 Venus years old, right on the day that you were sent me, and it was just like it perfectly lined up. So yeah, definitely,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely amazing.
Yeah. The planetary stuff is great, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's killing me though. There's one more thing I was want to tell you, but yeah, I'll let you take over there.
Yeah, well, I think Sean might jump on for a bit. I don't want to be on too long, but I think Sean's going to try to jump on. So, um, but I just think it's crazy too that they released a man. I just still can't get over the fact that Jennifer Lawrence just released a Bread and Roses documentary today. I really can't believe that. Um, but yeah, I think Sean's going to join us real fast, guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Please hit the like button if you guys are still here and you haven't hit the like button already. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, somebody's saying lotus. Kamala means lotus also. Don't forget that. Lotus is another flower. So, yeah, here's Sean. What's
So
up,
guys,
man? Man, it's good to see you back on a stream. Whenever I like go a whole week without talking with you on a stream, it feels like forever, man. I got so
I know,
used to doing it like every other day.
dude. I know I miss it. I miss it a lot.
But yeah, we'll do a stream on the weekend too, and hopefully we can get. I don't know. We can put something
Oh yeah,
together.
yeah. I'm free this weekend. That'd be cool.
Okay. So yeah, and I just want to thank you, like, man, bringing that bread and roses thing to me right in the middle of the stream, like, really just made it so people could see just how, like, I mean, come on now, like, this was like what I saw when I saw the ritual yesterday. I was like, okay, it has to do with the roses, it has to, and that's what my whole decode was about. Last night I saw that, and so from that whole night, I was just like, okay, how can I connect this to the rose and Venus? And then you come in with the bomb, dropping the bomb. And how'd you even find that? Did you just look it up or?
Yeah, I just like I was like curious about maybe if she's been in like a movie that had to do with roses or something. So I was just like Jennifer Lawrence roses, and then I saw that documentary and I was like, oh shoot, I wonder when that documentary came out. So then I typed in Bread and Roses release, and it said June 21st, 2024. I was like, oh my god.
I mean, that is just, man. I'm still just mind blown because it's like what are the chances that this? I could have done a decode about probably a lot of different things connected to Donald Sutherland, but like that was just like the one thing that I saw immediately. And yeah, so because I also know that Cody Rhodes has been like the big theme and like the roses, so I just knew there had to be something there.
Yeah, I mean,
And
don't forget that like in terms of the magic square of Venus, it still has so much to do with what you've been finding with like the 77s and 49 and all that.
right, yeah, and that's the thing too is there was something I was looking at earlier with the 77. Kamala Harris, I think she was born like 77 days before that. Remember that movie I mentioned to you earlier before I got on here? It was Night of the Castle of the
Oh, Castle, yeah.
Living Dead. So Castle of the Living Dead came out exactly 77 days after Kamala was born.
Oh wow, wow.
So that would tie to her being the 49th VP because 7 times 7 is 49.
Yeah,
So, and I told you guys, look out for 5 days after Clash at the Castle in Scotland. 5 days after that, and then 5 days after that, we get this big Donald Sutherland, death. So,
yeah, and it's also interesting that it was exactly a span of 18 days after that Revelation 12 sign.
oh yeah, yeah, I was gonna put that in the decode too. I saw that, and I was like, ah, yeah, it's very much connected to what we've been talking about, man. If people have been watching, we talked about the Revelation 12 sign, and don't forget that this 255 number keeps coming up also because don't forget that Venus or Rose, which one? One of them equals 255. Hold on. I think it's
Rose,
Rose.
Rose, yeah.
Rose, yeah. So we had that Revelation 12 sign 255 years after the Venus transit, which if you guys didn't watch my video about that, I don't remember what day I put that out, but you guys noticed the rose equals 255, and it was 255 years from the Revelation 12 sign that Seven had brought up to the inauguration of. Well, actually, notice something. Claudia You know the woman that was selected as the Mexican president? Look at what her gematria.
Wow.
So that's connected too. I definitely, I kind of forgot to put that in there, but I was thinking about that earlier. But thanks for reminding me so I can cover it.
Yeah, and then like how um all that 138 stuff with Alex Jones and Sandy Hook, like right before all this happened, like how he had to liquidate his assets, or they told him he had to liquidate his assets 138 months after Sandy Hook.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was a few days before like all this stuff happened.
I definitely need to, um, I definitely need to go back and look at all this Alex Jones stuff. I didn't really look at it at all. So, but yeah, there's a 138 Alex Jones, which was the big number, and it was exactly 138 months after the SH shooting. We'll just call it that.
And I mean, the Sandy Hook thing that had to do with the shooting too. So
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
I think that might have to do with it.
Yep. Exactly. Did you see what Casey just
Hey,
shared
remember?
about? Oh, Casey's back on?
Oh, my bad. I was just say, remember too that Queen Elizabeth, she was born 255 Venus years after the Revelation 12 song. Exactly. So
Right. Wow.
no
Hold on. That
255.
1769, 63. Let me just show people. Hold on. So Queen Elizabeth born 1926, 421. Yeah, she's born exactly 255 Venus years after the Venus transit Revelation 12 sign about the woman. I mean, that's insane to me. That right there is absolutely insane.
Yeah, can you look up the 138th try?
138th try.
Yeah.
So the 138th triangular number is 9,591.
So can you go from September 5th, 91 to Queen Elizabeth's death?
1991.
Yeah. The the weeks.
Hold on a second. Whoops, my computer's lagging here. Hold on. Why is it not showing up? I guess I got to click this. I'm still learning this new thing here. So yeah, 168. Oh, sorry, 1618, the golden ratio.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Because that's the 138th try. I don't know if any. I don't know if there's actually any gematria connection with Queen Elizabeth with the 138. There might be somewhere. I need to look, but I'm sure she's also connected to Venus, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hey, Cody, I think I remember what I was going to tell you earlier.
Okay.
Um, that Alicia Keys, she's got that song, "This Girl Is on Fire,"
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
she sang a rendition of it. I believe it was at Obama's second inauguration. Instead of "This Girl is on fire," she said "Obama's on fire."
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And she was at the
Well,
halftime show of the Super Bowl this year too.
right. Yeah. That's why I was thinking because remember, and don't forget, I made a whole decode about this, but her name, Alicia Agallo Cook, equals that big 152 number in the same cipher as Kamala. Actually, she equals Kamala Devi Harris in 2 out of the 4 base ciphers. and female president also. So that was pretty, in my opinion, that was pretty clear. And she performed at the Super Bowl. So yeah, and that's a good point because she had that song "This Girl's on Fire," which I thought it was pointing to the Olympics because the Olympics had that girl fire symbol. So did I lose you guys? You guys there?
There's something else that was interesting. I thought that kind of. Hold on, let me put my window. Something that kind of ties into like all the JFK. Well, I guess it brings in like JFK. That like in one, I guess, because you know how.
Hey man, you're breaking up a bit.
Oh.
You're
Sorry,
breaking
can you
up.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my bad. You know how JFK, he was the 35th president.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the 35th square, that's 1225, and that's the sum of the magic square of Venus.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the Super Bowl had a lot to do with that because it was, you know, you mentioned that there was a shooting on Valentine's Day. Well, he was also, he died on the first day of Sagittarius, which is that that hunter bow and arrow thing, you know.
Right.
And it was the 49ers against the so many trucks. It was the 49ers against the Chiefs. So it's like you had the Venus, the 49ers, and then Chiefs, the commander-in-chief, and the Chiefs have the arrow as their logo. But can you go from, so you know how the magic square of Venus is a 7x7?
Yeah.
So can you make the starting date 12/25/77 and then go to the day that Donald Sutherland died? Just look at the days.
Did
Yeah,
it
so that's
prime?
that's a prime, but yeah, that's the amount of days old that JFK was when he died. The exact amount of days.
Oh, right. That's right. The 1957 prime.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I
Interesting.
thought that was interesting how like that tied into all the Venus stuff, and then the president dying like in the movie, and him dying, and obviously like how it's like foreshadowing Trump dying and all that. So
Yeah, it's so cool to have this new planetary thing too, because I'll always be able to be reminded now that JFK died of 193 Mercury orbits.
right, that's 40.
So
Is
that's
that the 44th prime?
yeah, it's the 44th prime number.
Oh yeah, those Mercury orbits are great. I mean, you know, like Kobe Bryant, he was 172 Mercury orbits old.
Yeah,
Like
he was
another,
172.
yeah, 172. There's so many
Oh,
though. You'll see so many of
pretty big.
those Mercury counts. Trump's next Mercury count is going to be, he turns 324 on the 26th of this month. So,
Okay,
and then,
324.
yeah, another thing you'll find out is that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden share the same Mercury birthday. Yeah,
Right. Hmm.
yeah, they're born 91 Mercury years apart. Yeah. Hey, something I wanted to mention. You know that not Kiefer, but Donald Sutherland. He was born in Saint John, in Canada, and the solstice, St. John's Day is typically 6/24, but it's so close to the solstice, you know. And there's also a St. John's Day that's near the winter solstice as well. One of them's John the Baptist, and the other holiday is the other John. So, And actually, you know, I was mentioning that movie, Mr. I think it's Mr. Harrigan's Phone, and from
Uh-huh.
his name, I'm pretty sure his name is John in that movie. I want to say, but if you go from the premiere of that movie to the day he died, it's 624 days.
Oh, like
Yeah,
okay, like the Freemasonry, huh?
yeah,
Huh.
Freemasonry, Grand Lodge of England, 1717, June 24th.
Crazy.
So,
Huh, I was just messing around while you were talking, and I typed in Donald Sutherland's full title with the CC, and look what it equals,
yeah.
man. Sean, did you see that?
Oh, 255. Okay.
Like
Hey,
Rose.
I know
Rose
it's
equals two.
yeah. That 255 is huge with Venus.
Yeah.
You, you know, it's the with the Venus angles. Um, well, here it is. So
So
Venus has a transit cycle that repeats about every 243 years, right? Oh,
yeah, I think
did I lose you?
you cut out a bit. You cut out a bit, so I didn't hear all what you said,
Oh,
but
I was gonna say, yeah, Venus.
we,
You know, we talk a lot about the Revelation 12 sign and the Venus transit. That that repeats about every 243 years, and um, 243 years is equivalent to exactly 152 synodic cycles of Venus. And so, and then the 243 is important too because Venus has a 243 day rotation.
can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, guys. I don't know if it's just me or that went out, or it's Casey.
Hey, uh, Cody.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I kind of thought I lost the stream there, but
Oh, it's probably just me, man. I'm just in a bad spot, I guess. I was just saying, did you hear the part about the 243 year cycle?
yeah, mm-hmm.
The so every 243 Earth years, there's exactly 152 synodic cycles of Venus. You know that,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
uh-huh,
And then
okay,
so there's a 152 for. I know you tie that into female presidencies,
right.
and
I think I might remember you mentioning that before, haven't you?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But
I
the other
just
thing I was
always
saying is like I
forget.
really wish Derek would. Yeah, I just really wish Derek would get the synodic cycles on the calculator too, so you could look at that. Um,
Uh-huh.
that's something. That's something you still have to do by hand. There's a
Right.
583.92 days in a synodic cycle. But yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked that Derek's got you access to the planetary calculator. I think that's a big. I know Derek and I've gone. You know, we trade a lot of the planetary stuff, and it's been a big part of his decodes for a while now. And now that you're coming on board with it, I mean, it's gonna. Yeah, I can see it really taking off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is amazing to have, and like I'm blessed that he was able to help me out with that, and like just that he helped me out get it was amazing. So I like again like just
Yeah.
this first find that I made today using it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be love using this now. And so yeah, I'm excited to see what more I can find with it. Sean says in the chat he went to get gas right now. He went to get gas right now, and the song playing was "This Girl Is on Fire." Are you kidding me?
Oh man, that's crazy.
That
Yeah.
is crazy. Wow. I can't
Well,
believe
I gotta
this sometimes.
run. I gotta run myself. I gotta get back on the mail route.
All right, man. Well, thanks
So
for coming on
took
and
a little.
sharing.
Yeah, I took a little break there to where you wouldn't have to listen to me over the sound of the truck. So yeah, I'll
Okay, man.
catch you later, Cody. Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good one. All right, Sean. Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for everyone for watching and staying on. If there's anything else you guys want to share, please hit the like button. I'm going to get off here. And yeah, so someone's mentioning Archaics. So Archaics, if you guys don't know Archaics YouTube channel, his main number on his channel is the number 138. The Phoenix event happens every 138 years, right? So if you guys don't know Archaics, the 138 is a big number on his channel, and it's the Phoenix event number. So, and the Phoenix reminds me of the Mockingjay, right? Like the bird on fire rising from the ashes. But yeah, much love, everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Thank you, Joseph, for bringing more people over. Appreciate you. Go make sure you guys go watch Joseph's prior videos from the last 2 days about Keither Sutherland, or not Keither, but Donald Sutherland. And make sure you guys go check out Sean's channel. Here's Sean's channel right on the screen right now. Make sure you check out Gematrinator 85, the guy who helps with the calculator. Thank you, John. John Steele, thank you. Thank you, Ryler 05. Let's see. Yeah, Sig 310, Sven Dabs, Debbie, True Spirit, Crypto Kabooch. Yeah, so thank Coffee Girl, XX. Thank you guys all so much. I appreciate everyone. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next video. Much love. Take care.